Hey everybody, brand new floor plan for you today. Just came out and it's the biggest little toy hauler you ever did see. Hey everybody, welcome back to Bish's RV. Behind us, the new FSX 175 RTK. This is a member of their Max series, which is like a kind of an offshoot subset of the FSX toy hauler division. And this is an interesting critter. It is a big, small toy hauler. It's short. It's not super heavy. It has really good cargo capacity. They put the biggest holding tanks in it they possibly could, although, I mean, while it's not 100 gallons of water tanks, they put the biggest tanks in this thing they possibly could. The Max series is a little different. It's still 8 foot wide, but it's 7 foot tall inside, and it just allows you to do stuff that a normal, smaller hauler just doesn't do. It still comes equipped with that patio tailgate that you find on the back here, so it's a small, easy, no-slide camper that can really open up and expand and create extra space when you need it, which is awful handy. It does have a magnetic latch screen wall that you could apply there as well. Not a big camper, but they put the biggest awning on it they could. And one of the things you're not seeing today is it has the option above that like folding bench. There's a single fold down like bunk that you can apply to this one. So if you do want sleeping for like 4 people in here, you got it. Obviously the bench can fold out of the way, but there's some cool tote storage packed away under that. They're really kind of trying to maximize space. And I could see people liking this camper that don't even have a toy to load into it. Or what if you've got just different stuff, like you've got e-bikes or dog kennels or, you know, just a motorcycle, an ATV, kayaks. You could do a lot with this weird little thing. I'm interested to see what you think. Special shout out to that car that almost ran over me while I was recording. Thank you very much. And you know, it's like I've seen campers with a floor plan kind of like this before, but never done exactly like this before. I do think they brought some decent, unique qualities to the equation here. Most of the campers I see with a floor plan like this tend to be single axle, short, stubby little guys, whereas this comes in tandem axle with vastly more cargo carrying capacity, not to mention a full 8 foot wide, and that 7 foot ceiling, which only looks and feels even bigger with the inclusion of that skylight right there. I'm telling you, I really like that. Now, even though it's super tiny and small, you still have central air, and you might be like, well, why are there the 2 double stacked windows right there? Because there's an optional fold down more ride bunk, like the 270 RTK video you might have seen that I have recorded before, that you know, you could put there if you wanted to have like a double-decker bunker kind of situation, which could be good for like ladies on the fly, buddy hunting, camping, or just small families who, you know, don't need a big giant bunkhouse or something like that. Now, just to give you a frame of reference in here, here's me standing under the air conditioner, and you can see plenty of room above my balding hairline up in there. Now, being that it is a hauler, you do have some tie downs into the floor. A couple of them are just covered up by that bench right there. And if you're going to load something in with an internal combustion engine, you don't want the whole RV smelling like exhaust. You do have those air ports right there to help when you're going down the road kind of breathe that out a little bit. Now, being a stick-built sidewall, they have the opportunity to put power outlets pretty much wherever they want them, and you might notice how they put some households and some USBs right by the countertop level, and then kind of like right in here where you'd have either your bench or potentially that extra optional sleeping space to kind of split the difference a little bit. Now, the lights are all in one switch, which is handy because this is 7 foot tall and some people are gravity friendly, you know what I mean? And just handy convenience factors. There are also separate lights for the area past the front privacy curtain in the forward area of the RV. Now, being extra tall, they were able to really maximize, put some extra storage in here. They did stay minimal on the kitchen. They didn't go big, deep countertop. They wanted to make sure you know, you had as much loading space as possible. And what do you think about that stovetop / microwave oven combo? No conventional oven in this one. And that door, FSX was the first brand to bring us that kind of flipsy-flopsy either way sort of door right there. Although in this floor plan, I don't know that it does us a whole lot of good, but I suppose if you come through the main entry door and it's drink o'clock and you want to grab some, it does make that pretty simple and easy. Now, I don't know that every camper has to have awesome TV accommodations. This one certainly does not, though. That black bracket right in the middle of all those windows, that's where the TV would mount on this one, but frankly, I don't know that there's really a better spot for it. I don't know that I care. I don't know that I'd be camping in this camper to watch TV. I do really like the campsite window coverage if I am stuck inside on a rainy day, though. That is a nice little touch. Now, nothing says you couldn't load stuff all the way up to the bed here, but it doesn't have any tie downs past the bathroom wall on the left. So keep in mind, though, it is a 5/8 ton groove plywood floor. So if you wanted to add some of those surface mounted tie downs, that's not a big deal. Interestingly, this RV actually has 2 TV hookup spaces. We're just going to say crappy one in the living room area that no one's probably going to use. And then this one here in the bedroom that maybe some people might use. I do like that big toothpick window over here. And again, note the location of that privacy curtain. That window, the TV hookup's just past it. But if you're sleeping there and somebody comes and goes or opens the entry door, no one's necessarily just like standing there staring at you, looking at you while you breathe, which is obviously weird. Being 8 foot wide, and with this being a corner Camp Queen trying to keep the RV short, they did have room for some extra dresser space down there, which is really good because personal dry storage, cabinet storage in this RV is very, very limited. It does really come at a premium. Now, I think that they just had space here. So they tried to do a thing, and they just threw a shelf up there with a lip on the edge, which I guess is better than nothing. It feels weird, but I don't know what else you would use that space for. Do you have any ideas? Because I don't know. With the radius on the front of this, I don't see where you could really effectively put an extra like bunk bed over the top of this or anything like that, but it's just kind of what I'm coming up with. Now the bathroom's right over here, straight across from the door, or if you got to use the bathroom a lot at night, it's pretty easy to get to. And even though it's not a wide body RV, I actually was pretty pleasantly surprised. I will say that if you've got some bigger legs, you may be pushing against that bathroom cabinet right there quite a bit. But in terms of elbow room, how they left that all cut out and carved away, it worked very well for me. I think I would probably come up with some kind of situation to put some towel bars or something on that blank wall over there. And notice how it's just a mirror on the wall. They put the kind of Lipitorge storage up and beside it. The sink's not massive, but I think that the space was pretty limited here in the bathroom. It is an easy step-in shower, though, and with this sucker being 7 foot tall from floor to ceiling panel, if somebody like me who's a little bit over 6 foot stands in that thing, man, there's no issue for headroom in this. Now, that is the dollar store 4-inch fart fan, but as often is the case, if what you are looking to do is upgrade and step up into the Fajita Friday Fume Fighter, that's definitely something that we can assist you with right there. Now, when it comes to those big fans, this is a little pro tip for you. A lot of people, they say Max Air or Fantastic Fan or whatever the case may be. They like to use those name brands. If what you're looking for is just a big fan on a little bit of a budget, look at a Hengs Vortex fan, Hengs. I'm not sponsored by anybody. I don't do sponsored content. But they're like a quarter of the cost of a Max Air for a high velocity exhaust fan. I'm a huge fan. Now there's currently no supplier of like one of those glass 3 seasons walls for an RV with a ramp opening of this size. Those are only available in the bigger wide body kind of jobs there. That being said, they do have that magnetic screen wall, which I think is the easiest to put up and down of all the various screen wall things, generally speaking, not to mention with that full blackout canvas there. If you're not like running the air conditioner or something like that, you don't mind hearing a little bit of the great outdoors while you're sleeping, well, it's still a nice way to maintain full privacy. Now, the ramp patio back here, that is going to be standard on these. Some haulers, it is still optional, so I do like to kind of mention that, point that out. It's got a 3,000-pound loading limit, and in patio mode, 1,500 pounds, which is pretty industry standard. There are a few that are a little bit lighter, but that's normal. The awning just can't be much bigger than it is, although it is kind of fun being able to just like very easily capture the entirety of the RV within the camera frame here. As you saw in our floor plan in a flash, right above the rear garage area, that is where your 200-watt solar panel's located. This also does have a 30-amp controller, so if you wanted to bulk that up a little bit, you could. Now, it's not made for, like, epic boondock run the air conditioner off-grid stuff. Like, there's no inverter allowances from the factory on this or anything like that, but I love the fact it's short and stubby and not terribly heavyweight with tandem axles. this thing should tow nicely. Like, generally speaking, I feel like most half tons are probably going to be able to handle this one pretty readily. Max Series here, well, actually, you know, this is something that the bigger FSXs have been doing, but the nicer quick drop stabilizers right here, they have an additional strong arm stabilizer bar built right into them to give you more stability. You got the sewer hose caddy tube down there. We have an enclosed and forced air heated belly and holding tank heaters and radiant barrier down there. Now, they have a sticker on the side that says cold weather. It's not very descriptive. It doesn't offer us specific temperature allowances. So given that, what I can tell you is reliable extended season function. I think that's all I can really give you on this one. 20-pound propane tanks up front, easy to change out on a Sunday. And with the solar package, you're also getting a battery straight from the factory. Now, basically, I'm telling you that so like, you go to some of these, I hate to say this, but there's some places that are just shifty. And they're going to want to charge you a couple $100 for a battery that's already sitting there. Don't get hosed. You know, being forewarned is a little bit being forearmed there. Yeah, so I must have been distracted by a squirrel or something, because as I was going through this, there's something I really wanted to make sure I pointed out, and then I totally spacely sprocketed and forgot it. The RV has absolutely no outside storage. Zero of any variety. It occurs to me now I didn't look under the bed, so there might be something there. You may consider calling one of the people at our stores to like lift the bed up and take a picture of there so you can see it, but basically all of your stuff is going to have to go in like totes or something and slide in the garage area or somewhere when you're going down the road, so one of those things to just maybe kind of keep in mind right there. And not a surprise, being a small camper, but you do have a single sewer outlet. It does feel, though, I mean, is it me? It feels like that hangs down awful far. Now, this RV doesn't have any sort of like special off-road tire package. It does look like the leaf springs could maybe be flipped. I'm not sure. I can't tell if they need flipped or already are flipped, but you might be able to squeeze some extra ground clearance out of this. It also does look like there is a little bit of room there. If you did want to go to some bigger tires to pick up some clearance, you could maybe do that. Now over here, hot cold outside utility shower and a high pressure cold water sprayer port next to our city connection. Our black tank flush is further up the camper by the bathroom. You might wonder, why do you have a hot cold and a cold water sprayer port over here? Well, people who didn't ask, I've got an answer. Basically, it's because one of them's Easy Rider and one of them's Bowie and Freddie Mercury. But what I'm getting at is the cold water sprayer port only is under pressure. That was a lot of lead up for not a lot of payoff, admittedly. Anyway, the cold water sprayer port just has higher pressure. So like if you took a four-wheeler mudding and you don't want to load a swamp smelling like something that smells like Bigfoot's crotch into your RV, well, you can spray it off before that happens. I can't believe I said that. All right, everybody, your turn to sound off here. I've talked long enough. Is it crazy? Is it awesome? Is it crazy awesome? I don't know. Now, you may have heard me refer to this as just FSX several times through the video, but it obviously says Wildwood on the RV. That's because there's an Salem and Wildwood are the same thing, and they both have an FSX division, so I'm just trying to make that as simple and as clear as possible. We will leave you a link in the video description to be able to check out pricing and availability, see where we have one of these parked, and what we're asking on a given day. There is the platinum option on this if you prefer fiberglass. And yeah, overall, like, it's like similar to like a Geo Pro 19 FBTH. It's kind of similar to an 18 RJB Wolf Pup, but the full 8-foot wide body, the 7-foot ceilings, the tandem axles in a short length like this, I think this one's got some legs. What do you think? So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.